Hello queens. I'm back at y'all with another client tutorial, and today I'm showing y'all how I created this Barbie pink beat. And y'all already know I love to jump straight into the video, so I'm starting this off by cleaning my client's face, and then once her face is clean, we're going to proceed to doing her eyebrows. So I'm taking my Nicka K brow pencil and I'm using this to sketch out my shape. This pencil is in the shade Black Brown. Now that both of the brows have been outlined, I'm going to start filling them in from the back and working my way to the front. Once I've made my way to the front, I like to do little upward hair-like strokes because it'll just help it blend better into the rest of the brow. And I also make sure I brush through the brows as I go. Before I go in and clean up her eyebrows, I'm taking some clear eyelash glue and I'm just applying this throughout her brows. It's going to help me lay the hairs down in place. You can also apply this product on any extra hairs that need to be razored off. It'll just smooth them down under the concealer so you won't really notice it. And now I'm just taking the spoolie end of my pencil and I'm using this to mold the brows down. To clean up her eyebrows, I'm going to be going in with these two RK by Kiss concealers. They are in the shades Fawn and Chestnut. And first, I'm going to be going in with the shade Fawn because it's lighter. And I'm using this to clean up underneath her arch. To clean up the remainder of the way on the top and the bottom of her eyebrows, I'm just going to be going in with the shade Chestnut. Now that both of the brows have been cleaned up, I'm going to take whatever excess concealer is left on my palette and I'm using it as my eyeshadow base. You do not have to go in with a lot of concealer to use as an eyeshadow base, y'all. I think that's where a lot of y'all messed up. Y'all like to apply it too thick when a little really does go a long way. You just have to make sure it's even, because if you have an even base, you should have even eyeshadows. But after I applied that, I'm going in with my Dermablend Translucent powder, and I'm just going to use this to set the concealer in place, and I'm also going to be placing this at the front of her eyebrows to lighten them up. For today's look, I decided to use my Morphe 35B palette, which doesn't have shade names, so I just decided to show y'all each shade. First, I'm going in with this hot pink shade, and I'm taking it on this Shop Miss A blending brush, and I'm going to be using this as my transition. So I'm applying it to the outer edge of her eye and working my way inward, but I won't take it all the way toward the front. Next, I'm going in with this maroon shade. I know it looks hot pink on camera, but in person it's more of a maroon, and I'm applying this to her crease. This was a beautiful shade, y'all, but unfortunately it wasn't dark enough for me, so I decided to mix it with a little black. After you finish deepening up the crease, you want to make sure you go back in with the first shade that you used, just to make sure everything is nice and blended before you move on. Now I'm going in with my P. Louise base. As y'all can see, it's this pretty pink shade, and I'm just applying this onto her lids because I'm going to be going in with like this pale pink color, and I really wanted it to show up. Sometimes pale pink eyeshadows aren't that pigmented, so I just decided to go in with this base first. Now I'm going in with this matte blush pink eyeshadow, and I'm taking it on another Shop Miss A blending brush, and I'm tapping this on top of the base. Now I'm going back in with that hot pink shade that we used earlier, and I'm using this to blend out the edges. I'm taking some of my e.l.f. camo concealer in the shade white, and I'm just applying this to the inner corners of her eyes. Then I'm going to set it in place using a matte white eyeshadow. To line her eyes, I'm going in with my Wet n Wild brown liquid liner. Now I'm going in with some dark brown eyeshadow. This is from my Morphe x Jaclyn Hill palette, but you can use any brown eyeshadow that you have, and I'm using this to blend out the edge of my liner. So we're finishing up with the eyes, and I went ahead and cleaned and moisturized my client's face off camera. Now I'm just going in with my e.l.f. matte poreless putty primer, and I'm applying this to her face using my damp Real Technique sponge. I just like to apply this product on any texture that I may notice on the face, and this is just going to help smooth it out before we go in with the foundation. Now that we've applied the primer, I'm going in with my Nicka K concealer in the shade number 10, and I like to use this as a color corrector because, as y'all can see, it has a very orange tone and it's perfect for canceling out any darkness or discoloration that your clients may have on their face. For her foundation, I'm going in with my Fit Me foundation, and this is in the shade Nutmeg. To highlight her face, I'm going in with my Nicka K concealer, and this is in the shade 06. I'm gonna blend out her concealer using the same brush that I used to blend out her foundation, just to make sure the blend is as seamless as it can be. I'm taking whatever excess concealer is left on my brush, and I'm using it to clean up the edge of her eyeshadow. To blend out the concealer underneath her eyes, I'm just going in with my damp Real Technique sponge. Now I'm just going in and setting the concealer in place, and to do so I'm using my Fit Me press powder, and this one is in the shade Golden Dore. A lot of y'all tell me that y'all can't find this shade, so if you can't find this shade, I recommend that you use the shade Golden Caramel. They're basically the same, but after I've went in with this, I'm going on top of it with my Morphe loose powder, and this one is in the shade Rich Banana. To bronze up her face, I'm going in with my Black Radiance press powder, and this one is in the shade Black Coffee. Y'all, this is the perfect powder to use as a bronzer for dark skin or brown skin clients. Y'all know I use this in just about every video, y'all, okay? It's my top fave. To set the remaining areas of her face, I'm going in with my Black Radiance press powder in the shade Rich Mahogany, and I mixed it with my Fit Me press powder in the shade Truffle. Now I'm taking some black eyeshadow on this small angle brush, and I'm using this to line about half of her waterline. Going in with that hot pink shade on this small blending brush, and I'm applying it to her lower lash line. Now that I'm finished working on her under eyes, I'm going to go in with my foundation brush and use it to press in all of the powder. I'm going to go in and spray her face with some setting spray to lock all of this in place. And while her face is drying, I'm just going to be going in with some lashes. This is the style that I will be taking. I went ahead and cut them to fit her eyes off camera, so now I'm just gluing them onto her lash line. While her lashes are drying, I'm just going to go ahead and highlight her face. And to highlight her face, I'm using one of the highlighters from my Be Perfect Carnival XL palette. Moving on to the lips, I'm lining her lips using my Juvias Place foundation stick in the shade Congo. And as you can see, I'm just applying this to her lips using this flat synthetic brush because it helps a lot with precision. For the center of her lips, I'm going to be going in with this concoction I mixed up, child, okay? Yeah, I went in with my OZ Lab lip gloss, which is in the shade 01. You should be able to find it at your local beauty supply store. And I mixed it with the liquid lipstick that I have that I feel like is discontinued, so I'm not even gonna name it in this video. But as y'all can see, I just had her press her lips together, and now I'm taking whatever excess product is left on my applicator and I'm using it to blend it into the liner. Once I'm finished blending out her lips, that will be the completed look, and we're getting into the reveal, so I'm gonna let y'all watch. Okay, you ready to see? Okay. So pretty. Okay, queens, so her reaction was real short and sweet and to the point. She told me that she loves the pink honey, and y'all already know I love this look as well. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and make sure you stay tuned for my next one. Bye bye, queens.